How's it rockin', Dween Nation? This is the Dween Sports Podcast. We're about to get underway. But before we do, we'd love if you could like, comment, subscribe, or share. We are posting weekly sports content, and we want to build up the brand that is Dween Sports. Thank you all, and enjoy. Welcome in, Dween Nation. This is your host, Justin Paez, alongside Genoa Agudelo, and special guest Victor Paez is back to help us with our first mock draft of the NFL offseason. We are in June. It's never too early to start. And we're pretty spread out. I'm really excited how we set this mock draft up. Genoa, my brother, you're number 1. Dad, you are at 7, and I am at 10. Before we dive into this draft, I want to know how y'all are doing. Dad, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm waiting for the season to start and doing these mock drafts to really elevate I'm ready to go. It's just so awesome to start this, early this year. So it's
my brother, Genoa, how you doing?
Yo, Dween Nation. Justin, I'm doing good. I'm excited for draft season. This is the first of many I think we should have along the summer, right before everybody starts drafting their teams early August. But it's very exciting, that first mock draft. You can kind of, practice going along because, Justin, this is like part one of how championships are won.
I completely agree. Y'all both said it to a T. This really helps elevate your game, brings you into you get to try out all the different positions, different players at certain spots to help on draft day what is the right way to go. If I'm at the 8th pick, is it not great to have running backs early because there's better running backs in the 3rd, 4th round, all of that kind of stuff. And we're going to help you out today. This is, as Genoa said, one of many mock drafts we're going to have over the next couple of months before everybody's drafting. And so we're excited. We're gonna get it started as well. We got a little countdown under 30 seconds. But before we start with the draft, we also I have to announce we also have had some record predictions episodes that are on the page that we're continuing to post, bringing in guests like my dad, bringing in guests like Johan and Josiah and Matt. You saw him last week, and more that we're really excited to show. And if y'all are interested, continue to watch it. They're on the page. So just, after this, watch this episode, boom, watch those episodes and, help Dween Sports here as we continue to grow. But anyways, we'll throw it to the draft now. Genoa, you're on the clock. Let's roll.
First draft of the year, I got to go first pick, and I got to go with the highest scoring player last year, Jamar Chase. I love him. I'm a big Chase fan. I think he's going to go good with Burrow.
I completely agree. I love the pick there. Not much of a question in my opinion, but let's throw it to the 7th overall pick. Dad, what do you have at 7?
Well, my version is to try to get a running back early because they're thinner in rosters, but you can't pass up Puka Nacua, a reception king. I'm going to pick Puka Nacua on the 7th pick, first round.
7th pick. I like what I'm hearing. Puka Nacua, Rams wide receiver. Then we got Ashton Genty, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Dang it, those are the picks I wanted, and they are not taken. I'm at 10, and I have some deciding to do here. What do I want to do? I am thinking a couple of ways. I could split, and I could go running back, wide receiver, because there's a couple guys I like in both, or actually, you like everybody really in these positions. I'm going to start out with Nico Collins. I love what he was able to do last season with C.J. Stroud. Number 1 guy, alpha target. So to me, I'm setting my wide receiver 1 right there. But what do I want to do at my 2nd pick? It's down to a couple things. Do I want to go Derrick Henry? He's safe. I know he's due for at least 10, 12, maybe 15 touchdowns. But, another year on his tires. Maybe, I don't know. There's some risk to it, but I think he has a solid floor compared to a guy like Christian McCaffrey, who I really like as well. But man, he's hurt all the time. I'm not going to take the major risk, and I'm going to go with Derrick Henry here to start out. And then we got Malik Neighbors, Christian McCaffrey, and we're back to you, Dad. What do you got in the 2nd round?
I mean, I cannot mess this guy up, but I love Devon A-Chain out of Texas A&M. And I always said to myself, you got to pick a running back the first 2 rounds. But you know what? I'm going to go with Brian Thomas. I got my 2 solid receivers here. I'm taking care of my receivers early, and I'll just deal with my running back later.
I love it.
All right. Oh, man, this makes things a little bit hard here. I do need a running back. I think the best available here is Mr. Kyren out of L.A. So let's go ahead and get Kyren Williams. And you know what? I kind of want another wide receiver here. Let's see. Oh man, let's got Jackson Smith and Jigba. Yeah. There's some good picks here. Man. Goodness.
That's a
Ooh, I don't want to get T. Higgins. I don't want to pair him up with. I already got Jamar Chase. You know what? I'm gonna do something a little crazy. Let's go quarterback. Let's go with the reigning MVP. Let's go with Josh Allen. I know it's early. I'm sorry. I had to, guys. I have to.
Wow.
And there's not gonna be
That
there's
was
not
an
gonna be
early
quarterbacks
bird.
ready when I get back to me. So I have to.
I kind of love it.
God, I tell you. I mean, there's not really a running. I have to pick someone that's going to give me some points. And there's no running backs out there for this draft here. And you know what? I'm going with Lamar Jackson, which I told
Wow.
myself I'm not going to pick up a quarterback, but I'm not picking up another receiver. I have to pick up something that's going to give me some points. I'm going with the quarterback. He's going to be probably top 3, bar any injury, but he's going to be top 3 this year.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like what both of y'all did. Because to me, for Genoa, your pick there with Allen, now you have a guy in Josh Allen and Jamar Chase who could score 45, 50 points in the game. And if those two go off in the same week, which to me is solidly possible, that is, I mean, you won that week, hands down. Probably if one of those guys score, 45, 50 points, you won. So I love that. And then, you go Lamar. I like it. If you don't like the running backs there, don't reach on somebody you don't really want just because, you need the position. So I like it. Now we're at me. Of course, I was wanting to go quarterback. Three of the top guys go. So
And I
maybe
saw
I go.
you wanted Jackson, but
I know I did want Jackson. You stole him. Could go in a number of directions here with what I have. I'm going to go with Tyreek Hill is one of them. I understand the skepticism maybe because his fall off a little last year and other things around that, but
it's a good value pick at the end of the 3rd round. Come on.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
absolutely.
If he returns anything to what he was, 2 years ago or even early on in this past season, that's going to be a steal. And then if we look at what else I'm going to do, I don't want to leave. I like Joe Mixon. I like Joe Mixon a lot. I'm going to go. It's the touches like crazy. I was thinking James Cook maybe in that spot as well. But I think Mixon's going to get more touches. I know it's less catches, but definitely also a goal line guy, whereas Josh Allen's going to steal all of James Cook's touchdowns. But anyways, past me, Trey McBride goes, Mike Evans goes, and we're back to you, Dad, in the 4th round.
I'm going with one of the best offenses in the league. They're going to score points, and I'm going to go with, and of course, I need a running back. I'm going with James Cook.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. I got to do that. That's going to be my first running back, so I'm ready to.
Okay.
Wait, Dad, I want to throw you a question real quick.
Yes.
With this, because you did a strategy where you picked 2 wide receivers early. Now you get your RB1 in the 4th round. Are you happy with what you've gotten so far? Do you wish you maybe grabbed a running back like Achane or Taylor or something like that? Or what are you thinking?
Yes and no. Achane, he's injury prone, so he could be good. If he stays healthy, yes, I should have picked him. And then Jonathan Taylor is playing on a team right now that is not, convincing me that they're going to do well. So I think the pick I picked was great.
All right.
St. Brian Thomas, you can't.
No, I was just curious. Yeah, I agree. And we'll throw it to you now, Genoa. You've gotten one from each of the positions. You want to get a tight end now or what?
You know what, Justin? I think you've kind of talked me into it. Why don't we get Sam Laporta? I kind of want to load up on every position.
Okay.
I think right now, as the first pick, you're not going to get every single, strength and depth right now. So you want to kind of get a power play at each position, right? And maybe you believe that, Justin, we have this saying here where 50% is through the draft, but the other 50% is through the waiver wire. So I'm confident somewhere along the season I can get me another RB2. But thankfully, I draft again here. So let me see my suggestions. I do want another. So there's some good picks here. I kind of want. Let's load up on the running back position there. I know there's tons of options here. But one player here that I like, let's go with DeAndre Swift. I know we're not always so fond of him, but I think in the 5th round as my second RB with a new offense, I like it.
All right, DeAndre Swift. So you're banking on a little bit of Ben Johnson touch on DeAndre Swift.
I'm betting on Chicago to be lucky this year, Justin.
And
Essentially,
you know how you started last year? He was like, I think it was top
He had a
3.
really good stretch. I agree. All right, Dad. Well, you're back up on the clock in the 5th round. What do you got?
Man, I don't want to pick up a rookie here, and I need another running back. But there's nothing that I can pick that would. Let me see what else here.
What do we got?
I'm going to pick. Wow. No running back.
this makes me happy for actual drafting, Justin. I mean, this makes me happy for actual draft season.
I don't want Aaron Jones. I don't want to pick a rookie running back. You know what? I might.
You might have to over Aaron Jones.
Yes.
I think you have.
I think it's a far fetch. I want Dave Montgomery, but he's injury prone. There's what's his name now? I can't even think of it. Jamar Gibbs there. So I'm gonna go with
I'm glad you're thinking this out, though. Think it out. Tell Dream Nation what they need to be going through and what their thought process need to be.
You could always go with a rookie running back, but you don't know how they're going to perform. And this guy, and I want to go rookie running back, and I think I'm going to do that. Or should I do David Montgomery? You know what? I'm going to stick with David Montgomery. I'm going to do what he's
Sure.
a bell cow, and he gets those touchdowns. Yeah. He might not have 150 yards, but he'll get 60 yards and a touchdown with maybe a couple of catches.
I like it. You picked a guy that you're going to be able to start every week. Right. Now there's a chance the rookie possibly is a star. I don't know which guy. Oh, actually, just say which guy were you thinking of taking at that spot?
I was taking the one from Denver.
Harvey, RJ Harvey.
RJ Harvey.
Yeah. That I mean, I can see both ways.
Don't be picking them up now.
No, I see both ways where you go. You go safe, or you go for the upside but possible downside. And you go for the
Marion Hampton. I liked him too, but it wasn't going to be Aaron Jones for sure.
I still like Estimate to be a good back there in Denver, so I wouldn't count out Audric Estimate just yet. He's a power back, you know.
And what's his name? J.K. Dobbins had dinner with them this past week with the Broncos, so the chance that running back room could get a little muddy. We'll see. But we're on to me now. And I'm glad he landed here. I was going to go with quarterback tight end, but Kittle goes, so I might wait a little bit. But I will go with Joe Burrow as my quarterback here.
Wow.
So I have Joe Burrow here with Tyreek, Nico, Henry, Mixon. I'm liking what's going on right now. Now I look at – I want to – this is going to be my flex right here. So do I go with probably the best available? So to me, it's between DJ Moore, Marvin Harrison Jr., maybe Cortland Sutton. So I'm going to go with DJ Moore with that chance that the Bears are a feisty team, a team that is has a great offense, and he's the number one guy there. So I'll go DJ Moore to kind of round out my starting 6. But we'll bounce back to you, Dad. What do you have for your 6th round pick?
Like I said, I want to do a rookie running back, but I'm not going to go that way. I will pick another running back, and I think I'm going to go because he does get the ball a lot. He doesn't get many catches. I know. You know what I'm talking about. And to one of the best offenses, I'm going with Brian Robinson Jr.
Okay.
I don't want Pacheco. There's too many out there. Harvey, I was going to do again, but there's too many out there too, and he's a rookie. So, and it's not that good to start either. So now if he's on the way back, I might do that. But
I think I love who I'm about to pick right now. For me, this is going to be the steal of the draft because this is going to be Patrick Mahomes' main guy, and I'm talking about Xavier Worthy here. I get another wide receiver. He's my wide receiver 2. To pair with Jamar Chase, I got my tight end 1, my QB 1, and now I waited, Justin, to get an Xavier Worthy. Well, this is the 6th round, I believe. So this to me, I feel like a draft day. It's a steal, and then I get to another pick. I can go another wide receiver or another running back. Man, what do I do here? You know what? I'm gonna do it. Let's go with Chris Olave. I get 3 wide receivers here. I know I need a running back. I know Drew Nation's like, what are you doing? But I like these 3 wide receivers here. I think I like my 2 receivers and a flex here going into week 1.
I have a question for you because I'm very interested in your selections, especially the second one you made to start the 7th round. A guy who has shown a lot of good stuff, but his team is arguably going to be the worst in the NFL. Do you have any concerns with that, or do you think it's just because now they're going to pass it a lot?
Well, here's the thing, Justin. With Chris Olave, think of the Texans when they first got Andre Johnson. I mean, they were terrible, never making the playoffs. I mean, I'm talking about when he got drafted his first 3 to 4 seasons. You know, Andre Johnson was the best top 3 receiver in football, but the Texans weren't winning football games. So I think that's kind of like what I see. I think Olave can make things work with whoever it is. I think the best quarterback that can make it possible that's on the depth chart is Spencer Rattler, a guy 2 years ago. I kind of like when he was coming out of college. So maybe a year or two, he can make that step. Obviously, they won't win 5 or 6 games, but at least offensively in the fantasy world with Kellen Moore, I like to believe that these two, that quarterback with Rattler and Chris Olave, can work.
That's the big pull for me is Kellen Moore, how he was able to have Keenan Allen have a career season with Philadelphia. Obviously, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith put out some good years, a good season. And then in Dallas, of course, he did it as well with CeeDee Lamb. So he's always had a guy, and Chris Olave is clearly going to be the guy for him, even though the quarterback room is questionable with Rattler, Tyler Shuck, a lot of unprovenness. I think he might just he's their second-round pick. I think he's older than Spencer Rattler, funny enough. So he's coming out late. But anyways, I think it was curious, and I know a lot of people, including myself, were curious with Chris Olave's value going into this year. But now you got Olave, then Harvey goes, Ted McMillan, 2 quarterbacks off the board, and then Quinson Judkins. So a couple of rookie running backs that you were discussing. But now you're up in the 7th round. What do you have?
I'm glad this receiver fell to me at this round because I said if I didn't pick A.J. Brown, if I could get him in the 7th or 8th round, I'm picking him up. He had just as many yards, maybe 1 less touchdown than A.J. Brown, and it's Devontae Smith. That's a pick. Thank you, fellas, for not picking.
I like Devontae Smith a lot. I mean, they both. I'm looking at their stat lines last year. I think Devontae Smith might have had more catches on the season. Like
I think he had more catches, but very few less yards. Like I think it was less than 100, and then 1 less touchdown. I think, if I could remember right now, I could be wrong, but it was for the placement. I picked him up in the 7th round. That's you can't beat that.
No, I like it a lot. It was between him and DK Metcalf for me on this way back. Even though I have 3 receivers, I really like their values that they're going at right now. So do I want to do that? I'm going to go with DK as one of my selections here.
Wow.
And then we move on to my next pick. And it's to me, it's got to come down to my running back position or my tight end position. I don't love this area of tight ends yet. I think I could wait just a little bit longer. If they go, then they'll go, and I'll wait for a guy in the late rounds. But I'm going to jump back to running back here, and I'm looking at Caleb Johnson and Travion Henderson, both rookie running backs, one in New England, one in Pittsburgh. Ramondre's there, but can clearly lose his starting job. I think Travion's a better running back than Caleb Johnson is, but I think Caleb Johnson is in for a serious workload, not what we're expecting. So I'm going to go with Caleb Johnson here as my pick. I think he's going to go right into getting the Najee Harris workload, but hopefully he's a little bit more efficient and could be a guy that is worth a really solid pick here in the 8th round. But that's what I have there. Caleb Johnson. We'll move to you, Dad. What do you have in the 8th round?
Well, Jaylen Warren is going to be the pass.
Right.
Yeah.
Passing. So yeah. I'm looking right now for a tight end, so I think I'm going to go with a tight end here. And there's many. I want to go Mark Andrews, but they didn't have that connection last year, and they have other players. I'm going to go with T.J. Hawkinson because he's going to help JJ to throw the ball, short, 15 yards.
Yeah. I mean, he's essentially a rookie quarterback, so he's going to have the little security blanket. Maybe Hawkinson's that guy.
Okay.
What do you got? What are you thinking, Jano?
Okay, well, I definitely need running back. So let's go. First off, let's take Najee Harris. I think, he's going to possibly split with Hampton, but let's just get him for, handcuff reasons and maybe trade bait. I need another running back. You talked about Ramondre Stevenson, but you know what? In Jacksonville, I'm looking there. I have faith a little bit, Justin, there's a little bit of faith down, just a little bit for Travis Etienne. Spark's going to come back. He played with Trevor and Clemson, so let's get him. And I'm feeling good with my running backs. I'm thinking, I can wait a couple weeks before I can figure out. I got Kyron and DeAndre Swift until I can get some waiver wire picks by week 2 or 3. So I'm feeling good about these 2 selections at running back.
Thank you. Computer, thank you.
Thank you.
Picking this guy that I wanted to pick up. He might not start the first couple of weeks. He will take over. Justin, you know who I'm talking about. A running back position. Jordan Mason. Thank you, my fellas. Thank you.
Jordan Mason.
Oh, he's in Minnesota. That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
he is
I
to
think that's
go
super
and
interesting.
take Aaron Jones's place. Watch.
Yeah.
You think
Yeah.
you think he'll straight up take it, or is it more likely Aaron Jones gets a little nicked up?
Split with him the first 2-3 weeks, but I think eventually third or fourth week he's going to have more control because Aaron Jones, his age now, he didn't do well the last couple of years. He's going to take over. Jordan Mason.
I agree. I think Jordan Mason is a very solid sleeper. Especially if you have Aaron Jones, I feel like Jordan Mason's a must draft. But even if you don't have Aaron Jones, I agree. Jordan Mason's in line to take over that backfield. It was traded for a 5th or 6th round pick from San Francisco. So they went after him. So I like it. I like it there. Now we're back to me. And I waited for tight end, and I was able to wait a whole round, and they're still mostly there besides TJ Hawkinson. So I'm going to go with one of the 4 kind of guys here for tight end, and that's between Mark Andrews, Jonnu Smith, Travis Kelce, and David Njoku. Which way do I want to go? It's a tough one. Right now, Jonnu's going through this. Will he go to Pittsburgh? Will he stay in Miami? If he stays in Miami, I'd probably pick him. But right now, I feel like it's actually leaning the other direction. Mark Andrews, I've heard a lot of likely commentary that he's going upward. Well, Mark Andrews, of course, had the infamous, embarrassing drop against the Bills in the playoffs, and obviously started last year at a really slow pace. Kind of lost his job, it seemed. And then Kelce, kind of last stand action here is last season, and that's why I'm going to go him. And they could go one of two ways. They could really, preserve him, for the playoffs, or maybe he's like, this is my last year. I'm just going to go all out, and that's why I'm going Travis Kelce as my first selection. Second selection is a sleeper I have. It's somewhat of a bias in the fact that I just love this guy ever since he came out of college, from North Carolina. He had a bad injury, came back, thought he was going to do something. He did not. He is now on a new roster, and I just think this team usually produces solid running backs, and he's kind of the only guy there. Miles Sanders is there, Jaden Blue is there, nothing too scary, and that's why I'm going to go with Javonte Williams.
That's a good pick.
I mean, in the 10th round, you want to throw a dart at a guy who could maybe become something really valuable. And so that's what I got Javonte there. What do you got, Dad, in the 10th round?
Wow. Well, this offense is going to pick up this year with the second-year quarterback. And this receiver might surpass DJ Moore. I'm going with Rome Odunze.
Oh, Rome Odunze. I like it. Year 2.
Yes, of course. He's going to.
With Ben Johnson, too. I'm excited. You know what? Because we were talking about this guy a little bit. You picked him over Khalil Shakir.
I like Khalil Shakir. I do. And I was going to pick him up. Oh, you didn't get him? Oh, so
I was going to get him this round to pair him up with Josh Allen.
Oh, yeah. I'm good, too. But why'd you go Odunze over Khalil Shakir? I'm curious.
I think the offense, because in Buffalo, well, also in Chicago, they don't have a number one receiver. And I think he's just a better athlete.
Okay.
In my version.
Yeah, I mean, he's a first-round pick. I get it. Okay. All right. Well, Rome Odunze gone, Khalil Shakir, Bayshaw Tootin goes, Ricky Pearsall, Brandon Ayuk, Jacoby Myers, and we're back with Genoa. What do you got?
Well, at this point of the draft, Justin, this is where you start picking your backup. So let me go ahead and get a backup quarterback. It's down to Jared. Let me see the buys here. Hold up. Josh Allen's bye is week 7, so Jared Goff is week 9. Let me go with Jared Goff here as my backup quarterback. And then, let's see. I would like to load up a little bit at wide receiver. Let's go with Jaden Reed. I think the addition of Matt Golden can actually boost Jaden Reed's stock there in Green Bay. And I like him as my wide receiver 5 there. I'm feeling good about it. Or 4, wide receiver 4.
I like it too, because they even came out and still said, like, people might be worried that, Jaden Reed's not the number one. He's still our number one wide receiver on the team. So I like that. I am curious though, because honestly, the three names after I like as well at wide receiver. I'm curious why you picked Reed over guys like Jawan Jennings, Debo, and Cooper Kupp.
You know what? I was eyeing Cooper Kupp, Justin, because I think the way Sam Darnold throws the football there, it's not like Stafford, but it's a little similar to Stafford. The thing is this offensive system, like how McVay calls it, like the little curl routes that they throw, the little out or little slant routes that they throw when Cooper Kupp's had great seasons there in LA. Over Juwan Jennings and Debo, I mean, with Debo, he just gets hurt, and not to mention Justin, there's some discussion with Terry McLaurin. He's a trade target right now in Washington. And I'm sorry if that's the case. I'm not trusting Debo as the lone wide receiver number one. With Juwan Jennings, it's complicated with Juwan Jennings, Justin. I want to like him. He has a big game. For example, last year he has a big game in LA. I think he has 300 or 200 some yards, like 4 touchdowns, and then we don't hear from him again until like the last week of the season. So it's just inconsistencies there. But just know, Justin, I was eyeing Cooper Kupp.
Got it. Good to know because I was curious. Okay, we'll move on to you, Dad, in the 11th round. What are you thinking?
Well, before I picked up T.J. Hawkinson, I was going to pick up this tight end, and I'm surprised he's still here. I think he's going to do much better than he did last year, and I'm going to go with Mark Andrews and pick up.
Oh, yeah. Great pick. Yeah, great pick. With Lamar, too.
Yeah, with Lamar. I mean, you can't.
Yeah. Beautiful.
I'm curious with Mark Andrews, though, because last year he was the tight end 5, right? But it didn't feel like that because his first half of the season was awful. Really, really, really bad. He didn't start picking it up till week 6. He started picking it up a little bit.
And then he dropped a couple of passes, one in the end zone, which he usually doesn't drop. So I don't know what he had on his mind or whatever, but he's going to do better this year.
I'd hope so. I mean, tight end. That's the thing, though. He ended at tight end 5, and what seemed like a bad year. Yeah. He got 11 touchdowns. We'll see if that's stands for next year. But I think it's a very good value in the 11th round for sure. Yeah. We move on. Justin Fields goes. Stephon Diggs goes. And now we're back to me where I could go in a couple of directions here. I could go
while Justin picks, I just want to say, look at Team 3. They only have 2. I know it's a computer, 2 running backs only and like 8 wide receivers there. That's a team.
That's pretty.
What'd you say, Team 2 or Team 3?
Team 3.
Team 3.
Bijan and receivers crazy.
Wow.
Baker is your only quarterback? I mean, come on.
That's funny. All right. Well, looking at what I can do here, I could give my backup tight end because maybe Kelsey's not ultra reliable. I could go with my backup quarterback, but I'm happy with Burrow right now. I got 4 wide receivers and 4 running backs, so I could address those positions, and I'm going to do that with Rachaad White. I know Bucky Irving kind of took over the backfield and is now everybody loves him. I mean, he literally where'd he go in this draft? He went in the 3rd round, early 3rd.
Yeah.
So he's getting all the love while Rachaad White's being forgotten about when, hey, they still at the end of the year got kind of similar touches, and I don't think Rachaad White's just some guy that's going to be gone from the backfield. So I'll get another running back there. Then what do I want to do with my next selection? It's going to be between wide receiver and tight end, and I think I'm going to go tight end, and I'm just going to pick him with the assumption he stays in Miami because I would love that, and I'm going to go with Jonnu Smith to get my second tight end. Jaden Blue goes next, Emeka Egbuka goes next, and we're back to you, Dad.
I think I got 4 of each position here. Let me check real quick. I'm going to go with my second quarterback, and of course I'm going to stay in my hometown, C.J. Stroud, Houston, Texas, baby. He's going to have a better year than last year. So,
that has
He's way down there. How did they? Wow. Come on, Fantasy Pros at 18. I'm disagreeing with that. I mean, come on. Drake May better than Stroud? I'm going to have to have a conversation.
Drake May will do – he's going to do good. It was either him or C.J. Stroud, but I have to do my homeboy right there. That's
Okay. Well, first things first. Let's address the first things first. Let's go with the defense here. Man. I would draft Philadelphia, but the fact that they got Kansas City, I think week 2 or 3, I want to go with Denver and let's get defense out the way. Let's get Denver defense. They got the reigning defense player of the year. They got a great pass rush, and I know everybody's going to try to overdraft them. And then now let's get some handcuffs. And man, there's a lot of actually great players still out there. There's Rashad Bateman, who I like.
I love him.
Man, I love Rashad Bateman.
He just got a new contract.
Yeah, he just got a new contract.
Yeah. Hold up. Give me a second here. Let's see. Can we get another running back? You know what? Let me get a handcuff. I have Kyron Williams. Let's get Blake Corum there. Just in case anything were to happen to Kyron, I still, got that drop, that high stock invested draft that I got that there.
That's smart. That's smart. And honestly, with these last picks, you either go with somebody who has a long shot to become a guy that could be a starter for your team, or a handcuff who actually also fits that category. A guy who, if your top guy goes down, boom, you can plug him right in. And some backups perform just as well as their starters. I mean, I remember the years where Le'Veon would get hurt, James Conner came in.
Yeah.
It happened like every time Alexander Madison, or when Dalvin Cook got hurt, Alexander Madison would step in and like be a solid running back. But there's always somebody like that. So I like that there. And actually, I wanted to talk about the Broncos selection there. Obviously, defense in the 12th seems somewhat early, but I love Dwayne Nation. If you're picking a defense, don't mean to be a spoiler alert, but Denver is by far the best one because everything you were saying, they're locked and loaded on the defensive side. But week 1, they are hosting Cam Ward and the Titans in Mile Highs. Like, that's a wrap.
They do get the Raiders twice as well. I know they get Kansas City twice, but hey, I mean, I think one home game, they could do good against Kansas City.
Yeah, no, I love Broncos, so I completely agree.
Well, look what Eagles did to Kansas City in the Super Bowl. So
yeah,
you can't stop them with 6 sacks. That's some points there for you.
Yeah, that would be a lot. All right, but we'll move to you, Dad. What do you got in round 13?
I wasn't going to go the route of defense until like the 15th round, but I'm going to go with the Eagles. They've been top 3 probably the last several years, so I'm going with the Philadelphia Eagles.
The Eagles. All right, so y'all both are going defense. I'm going to have to wait a little bit, but I'm glad you got that out of the way. We're back to me. I like where I'm at with running backs. I don't think I need to dive into that anymore, even though I like guys like Eckler and Garindo in this range. I could go wide receiver because I like a couple of guys there. I could go quarterback as well. I'm going to go wide receiver, and I'm going to round out my 5 wide receivers I want. I'm going to go with Darnell Mooney out of Atlanta. He had some really solid games last season for Atlanta, and now I'm hoping that this offense is even better. What was he, a top 20? He was wide receiver 28 last year. He's currently going at wide receiver 49, so they're projecting a big drop-off for that. I don't think that'll happen. I think he's still in the top 30, 35 wide receivers. So I think that's a steal there. And then my next selection, I'm going to go with a quarterback to back up Joe Burrow. I can't do Dak Prescott. You know what? I'm still going to wait. I'm happy with waiting.
You sure?
Or maybe I don't even need a backup quarterback.
You might not.
I might not. I'm gonna go with running back, actually. I'm gonna get a guy who's not gonna start and won't get any touches unless a certain guy doesn't play. But I'm gonna go. Oh, I didn't mean to click that, but that's fine. I was gonna go with Isaac Garindo. I accidentally clicked Ray Davis, but I like Isaac Garindo a lot as the backup. With Mitchell gone, Jordan Mason gone. I think that'll be a steal. And then, since I did get Ray Davis, I'll put out some pros for him. James Cook's holding out at the moment. So maybe if that spirals into something else, Ray Davis can be left alone with Ty Johnson in that backfield. But anyway, that's what the pick is. Rashid Shaheed goes next. Zach Ertz goes then, and then it's up back to you, Dad.
Well, I got a player on this team already, one of the best offenses in the league here. You just said he held out, and I'm surprised he's dropped this low. I think he's going to be the number 1 receiver in Keon Coleman, Buffalo.
Yeah, Keon Coleman. It's a good pick there.
What, 15th round? 14th round?
I think it's really good.
It's a good pick.
What do you think of Genoa?
Well, this makes it very easy. I was going to get him a few rounds ago, but he's still there. Let's go Rashad Bateman as my wide receiver 5, I want to say it is. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm feeling good about that to make my wide receiver 5 there.
I like it. And you got another one up, and You got 2 quarter.
Yeah, this one's tough. I mean, let's go ahead and get the best kicker in the game. We got the best defense. Let's go get Brandon
I was
Aubrey.
gonna do that.
And,
Why
and,
you
and
do
Cameron Dicker's right there too, so he's not far off
I
from
know,
Aubrey.
but I was gonna do that for. Oh man,
Ah,
I don't know. I like Bates too. I like Dicker.
Oh,
I mean, they're all,
Bates, yeah. Oh man, you know what? I think I should have kicked Bates. You know, I'm a Texans fan. I got PTSD from Bates. The guy made every field goal possible.
that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go Bates. It's either Bates or Dicker, and to wait another round, I can't pick any of. But I'm not gonna start them. They're gonna be on the bench, so I'm gonna pick a kicker and pick Jake Bates. No, I'm not following your lead because I was gonna pick Aubrey. I was gonna say I'm gonna be the first one to pick a kicker. No, you did. All right, go ahead.
Well, now that I'm up, I'm gonna go knockout kicker and get myself Cam Dicker, the kicker. Be happy with that. He was money last year too. He was great.
Dicker,
And then
there you go.
when I go for defense here, I got to look at matchup. That's where I'm going to look. And kind of the one I'm thinking about at the moment. Why is it not letting me pick that? I want to pick the Bears. Were they picked? I don't think so.
The Bears.
No.
No. Okay, I want to pick the Bears for a certain reason because they are playing against the Vikings in week 1 in Soldier Field, and it's J.J. McCarthy's first game as a starter, first game in the NFL. So I think that is going to be a spot where there's a chance J.J. McCarthy hits really fast and he's, a stud, but it's more likely that it'll be a little bit of a slow start. So I'll go Bears there. Dad, what do you have for your last selection?
The last selection, I'm going to go with a backup running back, and it's out of 2 players here, Isaac Garindo or Rashawn Johnson, but I'm going to go with Garindo because just in case McCaffrey gets hurt, he's next in line. Jordan Mason's out of there, so Isaac Garindo is.
I actually like Roshan, though.
Roshan, that's why I mentioned it. I do like him, but
Garindo.
So for my last pick, I'm going to go with the guy that I mentioned earlier at running back, Audric Estime. The final pick of the draft, this guy becomes a starter. I mean, Mr. Relevant, it's dynamite. So I like that a lot for this team.
Oh, what did they rate you?
They gave me a C.
They gave me a C.
They
75 out of 100.
83, baby.
What did they give you?
83, B.
Oh my gosh.
I got C's.
Yeah, that. Oh, well, they.
No.
They don't know.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, Dwee Nation, the draft is wrapped up. As you can see here, these are the full rosters that we've put out there. And I'm curious if you have thoughts. Who should have picked what, when, where, how? Who's got the best team? Who has the worst team? And if you want more, continue to ask, and we'll continue to be posting stuff like this. We've also been super active on TikTok, posting everything with the NBA Finals, record predictions as well. So check out TikTok, and we're going to continue to build the brand that is Dween Sports. But thank you guys for listening. Dad, thank you for joining another episode with us as we continue our off-season content. So excited to do more, excited to have you on again. But thank you guys, and Genoa, send us out.
Yo, Dween Nation, this was our first mock draft of 2025. We're going to have many, many more. We're going to have leagues soon. It's very exciting. Draft season is just around the corner, so get ready with us there. Thank you guys for watching. We love you guys, and as always, peace.